it's Liz Yuille at Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Today is Simple Stamping Saturday. So, I am using an older set, but it's still a lovely set, and just because it's older doesn't mean everyone's got it. It's in the annual catalogue. It's on page 108, and it's Best Birds, which coordinate with the Birds and Blooms Thinlet dies, and they're on page 215. So, I think this is a really pretty set. Probably overlooked because it has been around for a little while. Just as a reminder, if the image is shaded out, there is a die to go with it. Now, this one actually is technically incorrect because there is a die that cuts that flower, but it actually cuts the whole of this image. So it's not just the flower that it cuts out. I know that because that's the one I used there. There are also some standalone dies, so there are some additional birds. So you've got each of the birds going in each direction, but you've got some additional birds that just die cut straight into card. So really pretty, and you've got a little one there as well. So really, really pretty. And these are my 3 cards. So the Simple Stamping beginner card, Casual Crafter, and then the Avid Crafter. So exactly the same layout, just with some additional bits and pieces added on. So obviously I will make this one for you. This one I've done the same stamping, but I've fussy cut the image. I'm using the Share What You Love Designer Series paper. These are both from that pack of paper. That's the really thick pack. You get masses and masses, and it's a very thick paper. It's more like a thin card than a thick paper. Let me find. See, this is the bit I should have prepared earlier. So it is on page 188, but the whole suite. So it's a large pack. You get 24 sheets. Normally you get 12, but you get 24 sheets. They are pearlescent. So, or 4 of the designs are pearlescent. So really, really pretty. The whole suite is on page 176, and it uses a full range of colours, and obviously I have just picked out a few of those. But this is the Share What You Love suite, and I have used the Share What You Love Artisan Pearls on the Avid version, but that is just the most, I don't think it goes over, oh, it does a little, yes, because the Make a Difference alphabet set is part of that suite too. But it's a stunning, stunning set, and I think we keep forgetting that we've got an annual catalogue. So, we've got an annual catalogue, guys. So, fussy cut, this I punched using the, what's this called? Tailored tag punch, and I just cut a piece of cardstock. I'll use this as an example, stamped my image and then came in this way, made sure it was even, and then punched, so it gets you another way of using your punch. So don't just think of the punch as only being that shape, you can get all sorts of shapes out of it. And I used it for the flag end of this one as well, because you can see that that's the flag end. So do look at your punches in a sort of a wider way. So yes, fussy cuts this. It's not difficult to fussy cut, but obviously it was easier to run it through the Big Shot, and because it was easier I added some additional flowers and then some of these pearls, the artisan pearls, into the mix. So one in each of the centres of each of these 2 flowers, and then one just here, because you know me by now, I like my triangle. And then behind the bird I've got some of the gold thread, so just as a little extra. So let's make the simple version, and then we are done. So Note card. I'm using note cards and envelopes for all of my simple stamping versions. So Whisper White, soft suede, which technically isn't in the suite, but I like soft suede. It's a good medium ink. So you ink up your, just going to bring in a scrap, you ink up your branch. Now there's a debate, I think, probably as to whether it goes that way or that way. I think the answer is whichever way you want it. So I'm going this way, and I am going off the edge of the note card, basically because I think it looks more intentional. So for no other reason than that. Now I am going to do this in a slightly odd order because I want to just move some of this ink round with my blender pen whilst it is still a little bit damp, because that will then give us the colour on the branch, and then we'll come in and we can add some additional colour. I'm not cleaning that end off just yet because I am going to, oh, I need some more in my lid. I am going to use it on the bird as well. So, on the subject of which, this is the bird that faces to the right. So ink that up with soft suede as well. And because we're using photopolymer, we can see through our stamp, so we can see where to stamp him on our branch. So he's actually got his feet on the branch. And of course now I've forgotten which end was being used. That one, I think. So again, coming in and just, a lot of this will just be the damp ink because it is still quite damp. It's a juicy ink pad, so that helps keep the ink damp for a little longer. Do remember when you're using the blender pen not to go over the same area too often, because it will start pilling. So just be gentle, and if you want to go back in and add more colour, wait until it's dry and then go back in. And I'm going to come down here just to add a bit of shading. And clean that off. Close up my brown and bring in my So Saffron. So Saffron is actually, So Saffron and Old Olive are in the Share What You Love suite, which is why I chose them. So just add some So Saffron to the breast. Now obviously you can make your bird any colour you want. You don't have to go with my colour scheme, so you could use red to make a robin. If you're in the UK, it will be a robin. You can use whatever colours take your fancy, any small bird, or indeed, you know, make one up. Right, so Old Olive. And while I've got my Old Olive out, I will also be doing some additional stamping. But first of all, we'll add some colour to the leaves, and because the ink, I've got a fluff, because the soft suede has been there a while now, I'm not too worried about going over it because it is basically dry, and if the leaves are a bit brown, I'm not that worried. It's not the end of the world. There are more exciting things to worry about in this world than whether you have slightly brown tinge to your leaves. So there we go, and I do always like to clean off my blender pen before I finish. Then there is some hope that it'll still be clean by the time I use it again. It's not always the way, but you know. So I've got the Happy Birthday sentiment, which is in the set. It's a really nice set because it does have sentiments as well as images. And just add the Happy Birthday. Close up my ink pad and fold my card. Grab a bone folder. You do get a much better crease with your bone folder. And that is our simple card. So as you can see, basically the same card. And then we add the dies for the Avid version and Fussy Cut for the Casual Crafter, Designer Series paper for both, and then some additional bits and pieces depending on which one you're looking at. So I hope you found that interesting. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I will have close-ups of all of these on my website, which the link to this blog post is in the description bar below. When you order from my online store, and there's a link for that below and over on my website, when you order from my online store, if you use the host code, do remember that not only do you get sunflower rewards, but you also get to share in the host rewards for that month. Generally, I get the host rewards out kind of the middle of the following month, because I've got to obviously order them and get them out to you. So do just bear with me on that, but it's normally the sort of just after the middle of the month. So thank you very much indeed for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon.